a relationship. Now we have all of our data imported, loaded finally into Power BI. What we want now, we want to connect all of these tables together. Now the question is, why I need to connect it? Why I need to create a relationship between all of these tables? So now I'm going to explain why creating a relationship is important. Let's assume that in my final report, I want to create 3 columns. The product name. The second column I want it to be the order quantity, and then the last column I want it to be the return quantity. So as you know from our tables, from our data, these are columns coming from 3 different tables. For example, if we are talking about the product name is coming from the product table. So from the product table, as you can see here, we have the product name. The second column which I want it to be is the order quantity. I want to know the order quantity per product name. So in this case, the order quantity is actually coming from a different table, which is sales. So here on sales, what do we have? I have what? I have the order quantity. Also the return is coming from another table, which is return. And here on return, I can see the return quantity per product, right? So what happened is, how I can create this kind of report of 3 columns coming from 3 different tables. Let us try to do it and see if it is possible to create something like this without a relationship. So what I will do is now, just to demonstrate it, but I'm going to explain it in detail later, I'm going to go to report, and what we will do is we are going to choose one visual. For now, we call it matrix. So I'm going to click on matrix, and now as you can see, I have an empty visual. It's not showing me any data. So now what we are going to do, we are going to build our table, which we have explained it here. So let us go to the product table. We are going to use the product name from here. So if I'm going to make it, this is the product name. I just need to check this mark. So now I have my first column, which is the product name, and I have all the products here available with me. And the next is what? Is the order quantity. The order quantity is coming from a sales table. So this is the sales table. Here we have order quantity. I'm going to click on the order quantity, and we are going to see what will happen. I'm clicking on the order quantity to see the new column. Let us see. And now we have the new column, and as you can see, the values are just repeated, and these are the total value of the order quantities. These are the total summation of the order quantity repeated in each and every row. Also, if we are going to apply the same on return quantity, so what we will get, we are going to also go to return quantity, to return table, and we will click on return quantity. Just click here, and now you are also having a repeated value available on the return quantity. Now what is happening, and why is this? This is happening because all of these 3 columns, they are coming from 3 different tables, and there is no any link between them. But the question is, okay, so we cannot form such a table. We cannot actually form this kind of table from 3 different columns coming from 3 different tables without a link, without a relationship. That means, is there any way to create this relationship? The answer is yes. To create a relationship between all of these tables, we need to use a common column as a reference between all of these tables. Let me give you an example. For example, the product key, the product column, the product table are having a lot of columns, but one column is there to identify each and every row, which is the product key, So the product key is actually a reference value, a unique value to identify each and every row, each and every product. If we will go to the sales record, we can see that the product key is already there. So this column between the product and between the sales records or the sales table, this column is the same column. The difference is that here on the sales report, the product key is repeated multiple times because the same product can be purchased multiple times or can be sold multiple times to different customers, right? Or maybe to the same customer. So that's why the values here can be repeated, while the values in the product table are unique. because these are the product reference table, right? So now using this common column between those two tables, I can build the relationship. So let us go ahead and see how we can build the relationship between product and sales table using the product key. So I'm going to go to a model, and I'm going to show you how to create a relationship between these two different tables.